Hey, what's up? We're here at Mexican Garage and today we're going to do some stuff to my car. Alright, so when you pick yourself up Alright, now when you've gone and bought yourself some D-Speed Coilovers that are the dank, this is how your box is going to come. Alright, so this is how your box is going to come. Obviously I've already taken the plastic off these ones for your viewing pleasure. So here we have our front coil and our rear coil. Obviously you can tell by the length and the mounting. I'll talk about these ones. These are fully base height adjustable, which means this bottom mounting bit here, which goes to your knuckle, can fully spin and go whatever height you want, monster truck, JDM slam, too cool for school, you can do that as well. We have our dampening and camber plate at the top here. You can see your little camber adjustment markers here with your Allen keys, your Allen bolts. Our 32 point dampening adjuster on the top here. You can see that doing all kinds of cool stuff there, whether you want it to rattle your bones and your teeth and ruin your back, or whether you can have it nice and soft and, like me, make a coffee when you're going around 4th gear blazing. Comes with some new nuts, nice new stuff because your car's old as hell. Yeah, so that's that. This has got an 8 kilo spring on the front here. That's pretty standard for a Silvia because of the weight. On like a Skyline R33 or something like that, you'll have about a 10 kilo in the front. And the rear on these is a 6. Obviously, if you want a 12 or a 57 kilo in the front, we can do that for you. Wouldn't advise it, we can do it. In your box comes some mint C-spanners for adjusting your locking, your little collars on here. They click in, they do some stuff. These are for tightening and adjusting your locking rings. Yeah, same thing here, we've got our adjuster for the dampening on the top here. These ones are pretty basic for the rear. But yeah, I'm going to show you how to put them in your car. It's like an unboxing video, but I don't make any money.
Where do you sell the products?
Alright, we've got some new arms to show you. I'm pretty excited about these. I'll give you an example of why they're different, what we've done, all that kind of jazz. So, for an example, here's our, this is our normal S14/15 rear camber arm. You know these, it's all good. I've run them, we've all run them, they're the bee's knees. But we've got something new and fancy if you consider yourself a bit of a connoisseur in the way of the drift. We have these new bent camber arms. So they look pretty much the same, right? You go, yeah, don't worry mate, I've got myself sorted, but you're wrong. What you're looking for here, if you can compare the meerkat, compare the market, is how this rod on the end here is actually on an angle, set on an angle there. I'll show you up in the car why this is useful, important. Sometimes it's not important for you, it depends how sick your car is. But yeah, these are new and exciting. We've got new joints on here. These are proper spherical joints. These are big old bad boys, they look strong as hell. And yeah, I'm going to show you why you need them up in me rig in just a moment. Alright, to go with our camber arms, we've got some new toe arms. So now this is our original version 36.7 V12 arms. These are sick, these are wicked, but if your car is hella slammed and you're like, Nick, dude, my car is so slammed it rubs on a grain of rice when I'm driving out of my driveway, and I'll be like, dude, fam, lit, I got you, don't worry. These are our new bent, a bit like you. toe arms. I'm going to show you why these are lit AF up in here in just a moment, up on my car. But these are new and exciting. These are our connoisseur range, I've just named it. Yeah, new joints as well. These are nice, big, thick, spherical joints. Yeah, get that around it. Yeah, I'm going to show you these in just a moment as well. I get messages on the daily, they're like, Nick, dude, I already got heaps of lock, but this other guy's got heaps more lock than me. I'm maxing out on my lock, it's hitting my caster arm. Can you help me out? And I'm just like, fam, lit, don't worry, I got you covered. These are our caster rods. These are dank, these are sick, these are mint. You want them. But you're like, dude, I want to run this wicked lock, but my caster rod is getting in the way. See how this one's straight? Sometimes when you don't have like a wild enough setup, your wheel's gonna hit the caster rod here. I say, don't worry, man, I got you. So what we've got a bent arm here. We've got an offset spherical joint. That thing is the bee's knees. Can you see that thing? That's a bit of porn. That's porn. So we're throwing this in the front of your car and you're like, Nick, man, don't worry. You're the god. Got you covered. Got you covered. Caster. That was weird. Alright, so first things first. Got a car up on the hoist, but if you don't have a hoist, you know, throw them up on some axle stands. Jack stands? Axle stands? Whatever they're called. Throw them up. I'm going to go around and take all our wheels off first, because we know we're working on everything. Then I'm going to show you how to unbolt your coilovers and do all that kind of jazz, but time for wheels. Okay. Alright, so I've got our wheel off. First step, taking out the coilover. You want to undo these top plate nuts here. I'd like to leave at least one with just one or two threads on it, just to hold it in place, but you can take the other ones off completely. Alright, so you've already undone your top plate, so you've got to come underneath now and disconnect it from your knuckle. First thing, take off your brake line from your, I guess if you've got a standard strut, you have a little R-clip or whatever they're called on there. You have to take that off. But next is these two big old bolts from your knuckle to your coilover. This one's just a 17 bolt with a 19 nut. So I'm going to grab my tools and rip that off now. Alright, so if you've done this on your axle stands or on the floor, you can just let your LCA drop down on the ground and that'd be wicked. The reason I left that top bolt in is now this is hanging just by the little bolt. You get a mate, depending on how strong you are. One of you can just hold it and the other one can just undo it from the top. I'm going to bring it back down and do that so you can see. But here you can see you just got your old coilover hanging, or strut. And the rest of it just drops away like that. It's a really easy job. I've never had this happen before. Okay, so I pulled out my old Cusco coilovers. These things have seen better days. They're probably, who knows, like nearly 10 years old by now, I'd imagine. All the pillow top's gone. It's gone, it's done. Put in the hard yards. But what this is still useful for is a bit of a height gauge. Because these come out of the box, they're not set for any particular height. You can kind of guesstimate roughly if you wanted to match the height you've already got. Obviously this won't work with a standard strut because the springs just compress. But if you're swapping coilover for coilover, this will work. As you can see, these are actually pretty damn close, which is lucky. So I probably won't need to adjust it, but in general, you know, if this comes out of the box, you know, a fair bit higher or lower, try and match it, and you know, you're pretty close then for some minor adjustments once you've got it all back together. You can set your height through the base adjustment here, and then just like, you know, roughly nip it up so it doesn't spin and go on nuts on you. But don't adjust these, the actual spring bit here. This will be loose, but just leave that loose until you get it in the car, and then you can tighten it up with your spanners. You get a spanner in each thing, lock it up nice. But yeah, your adjustments through the bottom here, not through the spring. Pretty straightforward. Putting the next one in is just the reverse of taking the old one out. Just throw it up in, put a nut, two, whatever, back together the opposite of the way it came out. It's pretty easy. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the rear coilovers. Pretty much the same as the front, but I'll show you how to do it anyway. Go take the wheels off first. So just like the front, we're just going to back off the top mount bolts. So now it's back up in the air now. The mount for the bottom of the coilover is just the 117 on the bottom here. And I'll show you there's something important to note when you take it off, or when you put it on rather. So it's just sitting on the, has a little, I don't know what do you call it, a dowel or a thing that it sits on. Just a little pry bar, just a bit of a, off she come. That's sitting there loose, just like what we did over in the front. And we're going to bring it back down, take off the two 12s on the top, and then it's out. Just like what we did with the front, we're going to do the same thing in the rear. It's just hanging by the two top bolts, it's floating around. We're just going to undo the top while we're holding the base. It should just drop out the bottom, don't drop it on your foot.
Alright, what we're going to do is just wind these till they bottom out, so it's all the way down. So then it doesn't work as a car anymore, and it's just that slammed. You look so gangster. And then the rim will be like here. Absolutely perfect. What do you reckon?
Don't do it. Alright, so this is our new coilover. This is the Cusco that we pulled out, and obviously you've noticed that there's this gigantic difference. When Corey puts that back to a sensible height,
No.
you'll notice that this actually has a little helper spring here that you can push down just by like leaning on it. This one here. If you were to compress that completely, it'd probably only be, what, 10, 15 mil, maybe 20 mil total, but it's taken up that much. That's actually not adding to any height of your car at all, so it's lying to you. But yeah, so we'll push this down and we'll roughly set it to where this is compressed, and that should be a pretty sensible ride height where you can drive over things normally, get it on the trailer, and just, I don't know, not fail at life.
Or you can do it my way and it's we're doing monster truck things.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be pretty close. A really important thing to notice when you're doing any of the coilovers with this type of bottom end, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, design, is that on the bottom here you've got a flat edge and a chamfered edge. It's really important that the chamfered edge is the one facing into the dowel pin. I'll show you that closer up on the car, but that has to go the right way, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. So we've got the coilover out, so now it's time to get rid of our tow arm and our camber arm. This is pretty easy. Just if you have a rudder gun, that's nice, but otherwise two 17, 19 mil spanners will do you pretty well. It's pretty straightforward really, we're just going through it. Get that? So once you've got your old arm out, or even your stock arm, you try as best you can to match it up by eye. Obviously with this one being bent, you're kind of just guessing, but easier to get it on and off the trailer or get it to your aligner without it causing a world of hurt. So I'm trying to match up our new camber arm with our old camber arm as best I can, and I'm going to throw it in and do the same for the tow arm, and then I'll show you why the bent arms are important in your drift car. Alright, so now it's time to adjust your old tow arm. Now this is a pretty important way to do it to make sure you get it even and you don't have like all the adjustment on one side or the other. So here's our old one. Corey's going to hold that one. You've got your arm here, and obviously all the adjustments going to be in these two bits here. So what you're going to do is you've got to get your mate to hold this one, and you hold the other one, and you turn this centre bit here, and it puts even amount of adjustment on each side of the adjustment, and that's how you get all your good adjustment going like that, so it's even on both sides. And then you match it up with eyelet to eyelet like that, and you roughly you know, try and get as close as you can to save yourself a bit of trouble.
I'm your messiah.
I farted, and now Andy's walked away.
Everyone's walked away.
With these toe arms, there's these little spaces here and here. You can see them there.
Nicking stuff up.
I dropped a nut. Alright, so just like what we did in the front, we're going to put the top plate in first. We're just going to just put the nuts on the top so it hangs, and then we'll take the car back up and I'll show you how to do the bottom correctly, but it's easy stuff, easy stuff. Alright, so we got a chamfered edge of the inside here, and that's going to go onto our, I don't know, whatever you want to call this, the mounting bit for the bottom of the thing of the places and the people. So that's just going to go like this. We're going to lift up there, that's on. Give it a bit of a, you know, a bit of how's it going onto here. And then we get our 17, that goes back on like that. And then Bob's around his dog. So now we've tightened it up from underneath. It's got to tighten up your top. One there. One there. Cool. And then we're just going to tighten up our locking rings with our C-spanners. And I'm going to do some explaining. But other than that, they're mounted and you're good to coil. But yeah, so I'm going to do the same to the other side. We're going to take it up and we're going to explain the benefits of this type of rod. I'm sure it looks fucking sick.
Bro, that looks so good.
Alright, so with our new toe arms here, you see the bent bit right here where the subframe bush is. Now when you had a normal straight arm here, which would normally be like so, and your car is dumb lowered like our mate Corey, this keeps getting higher and higher and higher up here, to the point where when this is actually in line with that, you've got your arm hitting your subframe bush here, which is just bottoming out everything. You can have a bad time. Your suspension's pretty much useless. So when this is up high, compressed, and you know going through its travels, this steers clear of the subframe bush completely. And the same thing with this bent camber up here. It avoids your the actual chassis rail up here. So that's what it's for. It's for improved performance over dumb low cars and throughout the suspension travel. Hey, I'm Rod and I like to party. Alright, so we've finished putting our new arms in, the new coilovers are in, the car's off to get some paint and some other witchcraft and stuff, and then it's going for an alignment, and then we'll be back throwing the cage in it. We've got some new seats, some harnesses and stuff to go in. Soon we'll be back onto the 33, the D-Speed 33. I've had a bit of a break from that over the Christmas holidays, but we'll be back onto that soon. Got a bit of stuff in store for that one, a bit more drifting happening. But yeah, stay tuned, there'll be more stuff coming.